With Nagatoro's unexpected but welcome explosion in popularity with the release of his anime adaptation, I thought it would be a great time to highlight one of the genres that has been steadily growing in the past couple of years, Gyaru or Gal manga. Generally a term used to describe loud and flashy girls, traditionally Gyarus are cast in the role of the shallow antagonist, but it has become increasingly popular for series to portray them as misunderstood, kind girls, albeit not without a dash of edgy. More often than not, this is depicted in the backdrop of a relationship, with romance being the catalyst for the reveal of their true character. As someone who absolutely adores a cute romance, the series I'll be highlighting today align less with the over-the-top teasing of Nagatoro and Uzaki, and instead focus on a more wholesome relationship. Without further ado, here are my 6 top picks of the Gyaru genre. Number 1. Tedama ni Toritai Kurokiya-san. Starting off, we have a series that encapsulates the gap moe that is growing increasingly common in this genre. In most mangas of this kind, the male protagonist almost always plays the straight man to the gal's antics, and it is this contrast that makes the interaction between the two protagonists so enjoyable. However, unlike in Nagatoro, the male protagonist is not an easily flustered bundle of nerves. Instead, Tadao Tadashi, whose name literally translates into straightforward, is exactly that. Though Kurokiya tries to tease her childhood crush, Tadao's directness causes it to backfire constantly. Ru's repeated attempts to taunt Tadao are both hilarious and cute to observe, as her aggressive endeavours to make Tadao fall for her only expose how easily embarrassed she is when faced with Tadao's forthright affection for her. While that is the backbone of the manga, the characters also show a surprising amount of depth that endeared me to the series. While much of Ru's ploys involve trying to seduce Tadao, seeing her act as a maiden in love creates a juxtaposition that makes the character downright lovable. Tadao too shows a hidden enthusiasm and excitement for his crush that you wouldn't guess from his stoic exterior. Overall, Kurokiya-san is a cute, fun read that overturns the traditional relationship of a guy getting teased by a playful girl, that cements itself through likable and multi-layered characters. With short chapters and only 17 out right now, you'll binge through this in no time at all. Number 2. Sono Bisque Doll wa Koi wo Suru. This series is one of the more well-known on this list, even being popular enough to earn an anime adaptation in the near future. Sono Bisque Doll follows Gojo, an apprentice Hina doll maker, as his loner life is disrupted by the presence of Marin, a flashy, popular girl that ropes him into her hobby of cosplay. As we follow along, Marin and Gojo's relationship slowly develops into something more, although both are too shy to admit it. Sono Bisque Doll is something a little different from the usual rom-com, presenting a fair amount of in-depth knowledge about the basics of amateur cosplay and costume design. Learning a little more about the ins and outs of cosplay is interesting, and presented in the package of a cute romance was not to like. The interactions between the two protagonists are charming and wholesome, and their characters are slowly fleshed out as the series progresses. With a beautifully sharp art style amplified in important scenes and fantastic character designs, Sono Bisque Doll is a fun read, especially if you're interested in learning a little bit about costume design. As of right now, there's just over 55 chapters and updates around every fortnight. As I mentioned earlier, the series is also slated for an anime adaptation, although at this point it's unclear when it will be released, or by what studio. Hopefully they are able to do the source material justice. Number 3. Gal Gohan. First published in 2016, Gal Gohan is the oldest series on this list, and is one of the mangas that first alerted me to the resurgence of interest in Gyarus in the manga landscape. Gal Gohan follows the now classic pairing of a cheeky but good-hearted gal and an easily teased upstanding guy with Okazaki and Yabe. Yabe is a home economics teacher that continuously gets teased by his student Okazaki, who openly shows her affection for him. We follow the series as the two continue their cooking adventures, and even the vice president of the student council gets entangled in their shenanigans. Right off the bat, Gao Gohan hits you with all the great parts of a rom-com, with funny and cute interactions, relatable characters, and above all, a relationship that you actually kind of care about. While the manga is predominantly light-hearted, like any good romance, it does transition to more serious and heartfelt moments when necessary, enabled by good character development and writing. Gao Gohan is one of those series that draws you in with its fun premise and ecchi, but along the way, gets you invested in his characters and overall manages to pull off a meaningful romance story, all the while maintaining the classic interactions of a teasing girl and a serious guy. The only series on this list to have completed its run, Gao Gohan has 68 chapters that I'm sure you will enjoy. Number 4. Fuufu Ijou, Koibito Miman. In this episode of Manga Logic, high school students are graded upon their performance in a couple practical, where they have to act as husband or wife to an assigned partner. Thus, our protagonists Akari and Jiro are paired together, something that both of them resent, especially as they already have people they like. However, the only way to change their partners is for them to perform well in the practical, so they are forced to work together to put on the act of a loving couple. The premise of two opposing characters having to fake a relationship is nothing new, and indeed, this series does initially play out much like nisekoi. However, that's not necessarily a bad thing, as seeing both the protagonists slowly reconcile their differences and grow to discover each other's true character is always a satisfying experience. Furthermore, Fuufu Ijou takes a closer examination of the relationship between its various characters, with all of the conflict that it brings. This lends itself to strong character development, getting you invested in and rooting for our protagonists. Overall, Fuufu Ijou was a good execution of a classic romance drama, with childhood crushes, love triangles, and more. If you like a more heartfelt romance, I strongly recommend the just under 40 chapters of Fuufu Ijou out right now. Number 5. Dumb Prefect and a High School Girl. Tonkotsu Fukuin to skirt take ga fute kisetsu na JK no hanashi is one of the longest names I've read in a little while. Besides that though, it's also a relatively unknown manga that I think should get more attention. Dumb Prefect and a High School Girl, as its name suggests, follows the interactions between Sakura Daimon, a prefect that has poor academic abilities, and Kohinata, a girl that actually does well in school. The story follows their budding friendship and romance as they grow to accept each other's contrasting personalities, despite initial friction caused by Sakura Daimon telling Kohinata off about flaunting the school's dress code. The characters in this series oppose the stereotypes normally associated with them, quickly making for relatable characters that you can't help but support, as you learn more about their underlying motivations and goals. This helps build a strong foundation for the episodic comedy that the manga focuses on, as well as the cute and wholesome relationship that slowly develops between the two protagonists. With a unique art style, a classic execution of an adorable rom-com with interesting characters like this is always welcome. With just over 30 chapters out right now, I really encourage you to give this a try. Number 6. Doujima-kun wa Doujinai. For the final entry on this list, we have Doujima-kun. Somewhat similar to the first series I mentioned, this manga depicts the reversal of the usual boy gets teased by Gyaru trope. Himewaka repeatedly attempts to get a rise out of the expressionless Doujima, but these ploys always seem to backfire on her, leaving her embarrassed instead. The series follows their daily lives, and we observe the slow but steady development of feelings that both protagonists don't seem quite ready to openly reveal yet. With an episodic slice-of-life style manga like this, the series relies upon having likable characters and well-written interactions to succeed, and Doujima-kun pretty much nails it in my opinion. The incidents aren't too cliché, the way Doujima reacts is surprisingly unpredictable, and Himewaka's behavior is nothing short of adorable, especially when embarrassed. For me, the strengths of Doujima-kun are very much reminiscent of Karakai Jouzu no Takagi-san, where you simply enjoy the wholesome vibe of teasing that doesn't go too far and still puts a smile on your face. Overall, Doujima-kun is honestly just a really solid execution of a simple concept. Even without a plot to speak of, the series manages to develop its characters and make them likable, a hallmark of a good slice of life. With just 20 chapters out right now, I can guarantee that Doujima-kun's comfy vibe and cute interactions will make for a great, light-hearted read. And that's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you found something that caught your interest. The Gyaru genre is something that I honestly did not expect to get so much attention in the otaku community, but I'm glad for the opportunity to share some great series that I don't think get as much attention as they should. With the increased popularity of Gyarus, in my opinion, the staple of high school romance is getting a much needed rejuvenation, and I'm looking forward to even more new series being released. Do let me know in the comments if there are any series that you think I missed. Please subscribe if you're interested in more weeb related content, and leave a like on the video if you did. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all next time. See ya.